where we last left the Cape Crusaders, and welcome to the one-man gang, aka the O.M.G podcast, and this is going to be number 3. So I'm just going to jump right in. I'm not going to even bullish this. Okay, I want to start with this because this was weighing heavy on me for like years, and I couldn't understand why. But now we're just gonna go into it. So a few days ago, I see this article on I think it's People magazine, but first it probably was on the IMDb page, and it's basically stating, and I'll skim through it, Halle Berry is profoundly hurt her Oscar win didn't open the door for more diversity. She said it meant nothing. When Halle Berry became the first woman of color to win the Best Actress Oscar in 2002, she dedicated the award to every nameless, faceless woman of color that now has a chance because the door tonight has been opened. But over a decade and a half later, no other woman of color has taken home the statuette for that category. Looking back at her win and lack of progress since, Berry told Teen Vogue, the fuck is she in Teen Vogue for? That what felt like a major milestone. Okay, basically she probably was supposed to be in Vogue, in the actual Vogue magazine. They probably had someone else bigger and better, so they probably put her in Teen Vogue, and then decided, hey, someone caught up to speed and saw her, saw an opportunity for a soundbite. So anyway, okay, yeah, she recently told Teen Vogue that what she felt like a major milestone now feels meaningless. Troubling to say the least, adding that the 2015 Oscar race, in which no actors of color were nominated for major awards, was probably the lowest professional moment despite her acceptance. Berry now thinks, wow, that really meant nothing. It meant nothing. I thought it meant nothing. I thought it meant something, but I think it meant nothing. That feeling, she said, left her profoundly hurt. I already said that. It inspired me to get involved in other ways, which is why I want to start directing. What, Traffic? Okay. Yeah, and want to start producing. Well, okay. Alright, I didn't read this whole article, but now, yeah, you right into my motherfucking trap. I want to start being a part of making more opportunities for people of color, following the controversies surrounding. Oh yeah, that's the Oscar so black shit. Alright, let's just jump into this. Okay, I've had a fucking issue with this ever since she won the Oscar. And the reason is, hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, I didn't have my shit together because I just had this idea actually to do this. Give me 1 tick. I want to play this acceptance speech of hers, a tidbit of it.
And the Oscar goes to Halle Berry.
Okay, so I'm just gonna fast forward because I know she's gonna do the whole crying thing and the blah 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 blah. Okay, here we go. I want to move it up a little bit more.
This moment is so much bigger than me. This moment is for Dorothy Dandridge, Lena Horne, Diane Carroll. It's for the women that stand beside me. Jada Pinkett, Angela Bassett, Vivica Fox, and it's for every nameless, faceless woman of color that now has a chance because his door tonight has been opened.
this, I've been telling people this like a while ago. This shit is all Halle Berry's fucking fault. And I'm of course gonna explain why. So all this about, oh, I need to give him opportunities. This is what you were supposed to fucking do the year that you won the fucking Oscar. Denzel is probably about 3 people, as far as I'm concerned, to my knowledge, that are actually passing the baton. Denzel's one of them. Quietly, I know that Eddie Murphy's another one. Quietly. I had the other person in my brain, but now it's gone, so we're just going to move on. When Halle Berry won her Oscar that year, I believe her follow-up film, or one of them, I mean, we know it was Catwoman, but she also was in that James Bond film when she comes out the water and everyone's going crazy. Her character's name was Jinx, and at one point they were going to do a Jinx spin-off for her, because, you know, now she has the Oscar, she's the big shit on the street, whatever. But also, Halle Berry had the rights to do a remake for Foxy Brown. I might have even blogged about this as well. For Foxy Brown, which now is becoming a TV show with Megan Good, who I feel is that's going to be fucking, I just think is going to be, that's miscast in my opinion, but I don't know what angle they're going on. But let me just stay on track. So yeah, so she had the rights to remake Pam Grier's Foxy Brown. Now my light bulb goes off when I hear this. I'm like, oh wow, this is a perfect opportunity, because you shouted out Vivica Fox. Great marketing opportunity to put Vivica Fox as Foxy Brown. That shit sells itself if it's a great script, right? My vision was, all right, so this is what you do. You have a sit down with Pam Grier, right? And you have a sit down because she's connected to one of the coolest screenwriters, one of, I didn't say the best, I said one of, you know, who's also a filmmaker. His name is Quentin Tarantino. Ask Quentin Tarantino if he'd be fucking, and you bring in Pam Grier because she has a tie to Tarantino. Ask this guy if he'd be very interested in either overseeing or writing the script, and you can ghostwrite it if he wants to, for Foxy Brown. I have the rights, and also he's also tied in with Vivica Fox because he worked with her by then with fucking Kill Bill. So you get him to ghostwrite Alan Smithy or whatever, unless he just wants his name on the script, or hell, he might even decide to fucking direct it. Who knows? Because, you know, he sees that you're passionate about it, whatever. Halle Berry produces the project, which now, what was her fucking win? Was what? Did I say what? What was the fucking year? 2002. It's 15 fucking years later. And now you just decide, oh, I should start producing and directing. Okay, so now you produce it. You pass the baton to Vivica Fox. And I don't know who else is going to, because I really don't remember Foxy Brown that well. But, oh, also, that was the other idea I had too, was that you get hip-hop artist Foxy fucking Brown to do tracks for the fucking thing. And she really needed it then, and she really needs fucking to get her foot back in the door now. And she's been starving to get her shit back in. So now you'd have hip-hop artist Foxy Brown, you'd have Vivica Fox, and you'd have Pam Grier somewhere in between there. And then if you can get Tarantino, and even if you can't get Tarantino would probably know someone to say, you know what, let me make a fucking few calls. Knowing Tarantino, what I read of him, and if he's into some shit, he'll even give fucking notes regarding the direction that you're going to go in. You know, because that's his fucking era. That's his fucking get down. He might have even said, you know what? I can't write this. I'm doing whatever. But these are my notes. If you're going to do this, with Viv and Pam and yada yada yada. Do it exactly like this. If you're doing it this way, based on the synopsis that I'll come up with for you. If I can't write it, we're gonna get you this person to come in and fucking write this script, and I'll take a look at it, and I'll spot check it and see what's working on it, and we'll workshop this fucking project together. That right there becomes a major fucking Hollywood fucking move. And like I said, Denzel Washington's the only fucking person that creates fucking talent. Every project that he's directed, I think just about, has gotten fucking nominated, and he cracks a new star or two. He's the one who discovered Derek Luke, Antoine Fisher, and I can, if I look at the dossier for that, there's probably more people. I can't remember the cat's name, the one who did Nate Parker. Pop Nate Parker's career in fucking Great Debaters. Also, he wanted Don Cheadle to be the lead in The Great Debaters because he enjoyed working with him on Devil in the Blue Dress. He wanted him to be the lead in this film, and there was a fucking tug of war with him and Harvey Weinstein, just trying to get that film made, to the point that their mothers, so the story goes, their mothers had to call one another to get this shit, to get the deal done. So Harvey's mom talked to Denzel's mom, and then they talked to their respective sons, and they ended up getting the deal done. But I bring that up to say, Denzel wanted Don Cheadle, and Harvey Weinstein said, Don Cheadle isn't a name, he isn't a star, and based off that, I can only give you about $10 million to get this movie done. So he took money away if they were going to go with Don Cheadle. And it put Denzel in a position. He said, fuck it. No. But he said he basically was twisting his arm so that he could have Denzel as the lead, because he knew in his mind it would be more marketable. So I only bring that up to say that as far as looking out for fucking people, and Denzel wins the fucking Oscar that same night as well, and you haven't learned shit from that, and you took your opportunity to do a number of films outside of X-Men that really amounted to dust. I'm being fucking for real. So now we go back to my idea. You workshop this whole fucking thing. That shit would have been such a major move, especially after you shouted all those fucking names out, and you go and you hoard the shit and you do all these other fucking projects for yourself. Now, I'm upset. Now you decide you want to be fucking Harriet Tubman and lead everybody through the fucking tunnel. It's like, I get it, but, a little too fucking late, in my opinion, because that right there would have been, now she would have been a fuck. I mean, let's just say all those pieces go into place, and now that Foxy Brown remake is a fucking hit. She becomes a fucking real major player, and it was one of the things that I could not understand, right after his Oscar win, why Jamie Foxx didn't do the same fucking thing. You know what? I'm not going to jump in and look for the hottest and the best and yada yada yada. I'm going to sit back and produce some shit, because you have the quote unquote highest prize that there is to win, to keep trying to come back to win it again and win it again. And I know that she was trying to do that, Halle Berry, with that fucking movie she did with Benicio del Toro. They trying to get back. I gotta keep up with Meryl Streep. I gotta keep up. No, it's like an NBA or a football fucking star. One win, and that's all you need. You could be a fucking broadcaster because you got one fucking Super Bowl ring. You don't need 12. You don't need 5. You don't need 3. Is it cool? Of fucking course it is. But you got one. All you needed was one fucking Oscar win. You got it. And after that, you looked out for self. So as far as her fucking crying and fucking complaining, as they say, miss me with that shit. Because that's all fucking bullshit as far as I'm fucking concerned. You know, she went after that shit. After her Oscar fucking win. Die Another Day, right? Then she did another X-Men. Then she did Gothica. Bomb. Catwoman. Bomb. Robots as a voice. Bomb. Perfect Stranger. Bomb. Then Things We Lost in the Fire. That was that shit with What's-Her-Face. Frankie and Alice. Bomb. New Year's Eve. She did fucking New Year's Eve. God Bless the Dead. Gary Marshall. Bomb. Cloud Atlas. Bomb. Movie 43. Bomb. The Call. Bomb. Well, that was decent, and I enjoyed it, but it did some decent numbers. It did. I remember it had a decent, I think like 20-something million when that came out. I remember that. You know, so it's just been a shitload of just... Actually, she's trying to crawl herself out the fucking pit, because now she's got the fucking Kingsman, because the X-Men have been keeping her afloat, you know, as far as, you know, name recognition, star recognition. And if the Kingsman is a hit, depending on what her part is, you know, then she's again keeping herself afloat. Kidnap, I saw that shit. I fucking walked out on it. Because it was just stupid. That's a whole other side story. So, you know, as far as the I'm so sad and da-da-da, you had your fucking position to play in it and you fucked it over. Now, the other part of that whole systematic Oscar shit, I recently found out that studios fuck up a lot of shit too, because when they campaign, they can decide who they want nominated for Best Actor and Actress and whatever. And I don't know the studio. I'm not even trying to look for it. I don't know if the Weinstein, whatever the fuck, but Viola Davis last year should have won Best Actress. I don't know why they didn't lobby for her as Best Actress. She is the lead, the only fucking lead in that, next to the little girl who's a co-star. She gets put into the Best Actress category, and old girl does not win it for La La Land. And I was watching something on Collider, and she is, damn, I'm just spazzing on this name. The actress that won it, it'll pop up in my brain. That won for La La Land. The one who's Michelle Monaghan's like little Monaghan's little sister. It's like I see her face too from Spider-Man shit. She's supposed to be playing Billie Jean King, and one of the staff, they said, you know what? When I saw this trailer, this looks like the film that she should have gotten nominated for, or that she should win the Oscar for, you know. And I concur, because it makes me think. Viola Davis, gets lobbied for Best Actress. She wins that. All the other shit, that Octavia Spencer, who had basically 5 lines, I'm bullshitting, in that movie, and she really wasn't the lead, and you overlook Taraji for at least Best Actress. Come on. This is a politics game. So I'm not even trying to, talk any further about the Oscars. My focus was on fucking Halle Berry dropping the motherfucking ball, and now having the gall fucking 15 years later to say, oh, I'm ashamed that no one's yada yada yada, and I want to start directing. I want to start producing more. For starters, I think you should. Never mind. I'm not gonna even go on. Margot Robbie is already setting herself up to produce projects this early in her career, or at least the audience knowing who she is. And I believe Jennifer Lawrence, and they're both barely 30, wink wink, if that. And Jennifer Lawrence has an Oscar. I'm sure they're lobbying for Margot Robbie at a certain point, but whatever. I'm going to transition right now, because I'll probably burn the ish out of that bed. I've been noticing a lot of people consistently doing one thing, speaking about biopics, and I don't know for whatever reason why they get it fucking confused to say, is it biopic or biopic? You know, it's biopic. Like, come on, man. Biography, picture. Biopic, you know, sounds like something that has to do with your eye, or bionic. You know, biopicture. Biography, picture equals biopic. Anyhow, a lot of interviews that I'm watching and hearing, they just keep throwing this out. Oh, maybe they're going to make a biopic of your life. You know, whatever singers that are being interviewed, or actors, or whatever, you know, or whatever. Biopic. And it's starting to seem like, especially for black films, like the biopic is starting to come across to me as like the new age BlaCKSploitation film, because every single property is not going to be the New Edition story. Every single property is not going to be Straight Out of Compton. That sounds funny. Straight Out of Compton. So it just seems like this is the new thing that the studios are gravitating to, because they see the audience is there, which is, you know, typical of the studio system, to get people amped and think, okay, so now this one should have a biopic, and this one should have a biopic. And a lot of these singers just aren't really interesting as far as I'm concerned. You know, the music was good, but I don't think they deserve this whole either cinematic or television trilogy or miniseries, however they're going to do it. There are certain projects that I believe do warrant that and should be on TV. I recently saw the Tupac All Eyes on Me film, and I thought it was pretty decent, you know, and I saw it after all the negative comments came out about it, and I thought it was kind of jacked up that those comments dropped on the opening weekend, because it really, I feel like it really did affect the box office. So, you know, when these people are saying, you know, this movie was this, it was that, and speaking negatively, you know, I don't think that they actually realize that they're really affecting their futures as well, because I know Jada Pinkett said something, and if by some weird chance she's going to try to do a Tupac film in the future or whatever, if she's going to try to get into theaters, they're just going to reflect and look at the final box office numbers for All Eyes on Me, and they're going to give her more problems, you know, even more so because, you know, at least right now, her husband's career isn't really tracking as well. It's kind of in a, you know, a mini holding pattern, let's say. But as far as her career is going, pretty good. I love her. I loved her on Gotham. I stopped watching that show. And this Girls Trip looks like it's going to do some serious numbers just based off the trailer, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed, because this will be the perfect time, especially since Scarlett Johansson's film bombed. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I don't think that a lot of these projects warrant biopics. And John Singleton, who was supposed to originally direct the All Eyes on Me, he's hard pressed about doing a Tupac film, and he wants to bring it into theaters, and it has to be in the theater, and and it's like, there's no way, unless you're going to get a 2-part film, that you're going to justify what you felt All Eyes on Me did not cover. If you're getting a 2-hour window to tell the story, or even a 3-hour window to tell the story, I'm not sure that that's going to be enough time, you know, to really put a what you want to conceive as a better stamp on Tupac's biography. The only way that I see that really flourishing and nourishing is if you go to television and specifically I would say BET, not only because of the great job that they did with the New Edition film, which I will credit Stephen Hill mostly because he had been trying to get that project done for years, and after he basically, created the template, what does BET do? They terminate him. So, but I'm sure he's gonna land on his feet very, very well, and of course do greater things. Anyway, so yeah, Singleton has a deal with that show Rebel he has on BET, so it would be the perfect platform for him to do that Tupac biopic, and will allow him more time rather than going the cinematic way, which is, in my opinion, really going to lead him down the same path as All Eyes on Me, which is, people just making critical comments about, oh, he didn't talk about this, and he didn't talk about that, and he didn't talk about this, and he skipped over that, So, yeah, that's my little tete-a-tete on the biopic film. They should really reconsider, or people should just really slow the roll, and consider, like, what? A Teddy Pendergrass film that I believe Tyrese at one point was trying to get done. That would be perfect for BET as well. Now, I don't know how many days it would be, if they gave it, whatever. I don't know how many days it would be, but I think that would be better for television and not for the cinema, especially, that a lot of people don't know who he was. And a lot of people still don't even know who Tyrese is. Oh! Since he, brings in over billions of dollars in the box office. But I'll digress. Let me just transition into something else. Anyway, I had this theory for a while now. Like, I have most of my thoughts, and I think this would be an interesting idea. First, I'm just going to give you a quick setup, as you will. If you go on to YouTube and you Google Batman fan film or Superman fan film, there's even like a Batgirl fan film, and I know there was this cool Nightwing fan film. Star Wars, they have fan films, and whatever. Some of these films that are really, really good. There was a really good Star Wars fan film that was up, and I remember speaking with the filmmaker on Facebook when he first dropped it, because he was asking us to take a look at it, and I actually watched the numbers just grow exponentially. I just can't remember which one, but it basically had to do with Jedis. It was this Jedi war against Sith lords, and the shit was, he really put in that work. This shit was awesome. But the shit that happens is that a lot of these fucking filmmakers, it's like the studio system, they don't take them seriously for whatever reason. I just don't understand. It's as if the fan film is like something of a goof to them. And I, to this day, I've heard a lot of rumblings about managers, agents, and studios that kind of piss on YouTube, but meanwhile they pick talent and directors based off of their YouTube numbers now, because they feel that that's how, the audience is gonna, come in to see their film. So they're using it in one way and then disrespecting, the platform in another. I think it would be a great idea if Disney/Lucasfilms and Disney/Marvel, if they created their own film schools to nurture these up-and-coming talents. Because there have been a number of times, and we're hearing it now with the Han Solo film, how they had to switch out the directors. We also heard that on the Black Panther film, how it went through a number of hands. and a few other films. Even the DC, a lot of DC properties, especially with the Batman, what's going on now with Matt Reeves, now that he's, properly been placed. And of course with Aquaman and the Flash, they're still having director issues. But if, let's just say, you had your own little, just 1 year boot camp. You handpicked, these young filmmakers. I don't mean young as far as like age. I mean young as like new talent that people, oh my God, this is this person's first film or whatever. Or this one did a fan film. And you pick the fan films that you like and you bring them into the boot camp and you nurture them and you show them this, well, we have these other film shorts, or we have these other concepts. It'd be great to see more Star Wars film shorts rather than just making every single idea that comes in their head into a feature film, because they're trying to make money off of the Star Wars films. Like I think a cool concept would be a Chewbacca short film, or just like a 2-part short film or something like that, based on like young Chewbacca before he meets Han Solo. That would be a great setup into the film. I'm not sure if Chewbacca's going to be in the Han Solo film. Knowing them, as I spoke on before, they rush everything, so I wouldn't be surprised. That would have also been a great concept for Lando Calrissian, just a short film, that leads up to the Han Solo project. In my world, I would not have placed Lando Calrissian in the first film. Would have placed him in the second Han Solo film. So yeah, I believe that I have heard rumblings on Marvel. I mean, Marvel had been doing it anyway with a few of their short films, and they stopped. But I've been hearing rumblings that they're going to go back into these little short films. And Tom Holland, who's now Spider-Man, who probably won't be Spider-Man for long if he keeps opening his mouth, because he has a habit of spilling the beans on a lot of shit that Marvel's planning on doing. So that, I know next time around he's going to get the script the day of shooting, because he just can't stop talking about it. Because I think he dropped some sort of an Easter egg on how he wanted to do a Daredevil Spider-Man crossover or something, whatever, and Marvel, they were planning on it, so he dropped that. So I think there's going to be some sort of a short film or something on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's Daredevil. It would be nice if it's Daredevil, especially since they both battle Kingpin. But yeah, they're talking about that. But yeah, it'd be a great place to have a boot camp, to have the upstarts come in, and this way those filmmakers know exactly how Marvel wants their films directed, and Lucasfilms wants those films directed. Because what I've heard from other actors that have been in the Marvel cinematic universe, they are told to do their dialogue exactly as it's on the page. So Marvel's making sure that they have that sense of control, which means that they know exactly the path that they're going to go down with their storylines and how they want their cinematic universe to look. So you can have people that are hungry. Not saying that the guys that are directing, the directors that are doing these projects now aren't hungry, but there's certain times, like if you put a Coogler up against someone that's up and coming, Coogler is very capable of coming up with his own projects. He's a fucking shaker. He's a beast. He's what? Never mind. I'm not gonna digress back into that. He's a beast. He's getting shit done. Basically, he's a moving groover. He seems like the guy that's got 5 scripts already written in the drawer, or at least the synopsises, already, ready to go. So if they didn't pick him and they got some newcomer to direct the Black Panther, let's say, or let's say Black Panther 2, it wouldn't be as much pressure, or as much gossip maybe, if you knew that he's coming through the MCU, I was gonna say universe, the MCU boot camp. He's coming through their camp. Anytime someone goes through their camp, they were hand chosen by Marvel. They went through the film school / boot camp for a year. They know how they want their stuff done. Or even if, you set them up and they're directing short films, for a year or two. You give, I'm going to say, each filmmaker 2 short films for them to direct per year, if that, because I know a lot of these MCU projects, they are high end and have a lot of special effects. Actually, no, they could fucking do it, because if they're doing shit on Netflix, yeah, they could do that. You give them 2 short films, and you're basically, watching them grow, and then soon after that, you go, all right, I think that you're ready to do this Netflix series. Here, The Punisher, boom, season 1, we're going to throw you this episode. Or you can have all your graduates from the boot camp. They will all individually direct each episode of Punisher for that season, or the Defenders for that season. Then you transition them into, okay, we want this person for Black Panther 2, and this way you're already, acclimated into the Marvel universe. The shit that they want for Netflix. The shit they want for the cinematic. What they're going to do in the future, and you're on the team. And thus, you of course sign the confidentiality contract, so that if they do allow you within the contractual whatever, you to go out and do other films, non-superhero films, of course, because you're contracted to this specific brand. If you want to do a horror film, a sci-fi film, it's not related with whatever, they can let you, the contract states, all right, you can go ahead and go do that. And just keep in mind, you still got Captain Marvel, the sequel, that you're contracted with us to go do, so you're going to come back and do that with us. Which I don't even think that they've found a quote-unquote female director for it yet, because there hasn't been any mention of it. So that's going to be the new shit soon that you'll just start hearing about. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it's within the next few days. But before the year's up, you'll hear, because there's some big event that's happening. I always get these things twisted up. I'm not sure if it's Comic-Con or the DC 23 thing, which is the Disney, Disney's version of a Comic-Con, whatever, but that's coming up, I think, in the next few days. So there will be some announcements, but I digress. But yeah, I think that that'll be a great idea to have, so there wouldn't be all this hubbub between this director jump ship and that director jump ship, and there was a conflict of interest and whatever. You already have your in-house directors, and everyone's on the same page because they've grown into the system. With that said, I wanted to transition. Since we're already talking about these properties, some of the things I feel, or I'm going to say it's very brief, about the Avengers Infinity Wars. Or maybe I'll save that. Yeah, I'm going to save that for another time, because I'm going to get more theories. I only have a few, and it's going to be very brief. No, but then again, if I want to go into that, yeah, I'll save it for another time. I'll save it. I'm going to do a little bit more research and see what else comes out on the table. So, I'm going to wrap it up for this podcast. I've ran my mouth long enough. I've used my limit of profanity. So I thank you guys again for listening to the ramblings of a crazy filmmaker, and we will be back again as soon as I have some more ish that's on my chest. Alright guys, later.